Hey guys, welcome to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the round one match preview. We are here. Pre-season is done. No more training reports. No more pre-season games. None of that stuff. No speculation. The real stuff is here. And we are taking on Geelong at GMHBA Stadium on Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. A place that we have not won at for 25 years. 1999, Saints, was the last time we went down the highway and we brought the 4 points back to Melbourne. So this is a huge opportunity for our club. This is to me the perfect game to kick off the season. It's a place that we don't go and we play well at. It's against a team that, yes, we have beaten a couple of times in recent years, but for the overall history, they've had the better. There is history there, speaking of, grand finals and qualifying finals and big games. There is a bit of a rivalry there, and they've got a big night themselves. They're a team that 2 years ago were invincible and won the flag very comfortably, and then had a down season, and their season was ended by none other than the team they are playing, St Kilda. So it's got the makings of a really important game just to kick off the season. And I think if we can go there and make a statement, play Saints footy, regardless of the narrowness of the ground, the crowd impact, the announcement of the new Selwood stand, there are a lot of things there that are going to get the crowd up. And Geelong are a very proud team, and a team that, for the first time in maybe a couple of years, people are questioning them. And they've still got a lot of good players, but so do we. And I'm really, really excited to see how up for the challenge we are. And I think most Saints fans watching this match preview would be feeling the same way. It's about, I think we're there, but I just need that little bit of proof. Can you go there? And if you get the job done, all right, my feelings are justified. It's not just a pipe dream. We are actually going somewhere. And teams have gone there and beaten Geelong, and the template is there, and the template is clear. It is quick movement through the guts, handball chains, get it into the forward line quick. And if we can play that way, which is pretty much the way we played in the Pracky game against North Melbourne and Essendon, to be fair, that bodes very nicely in this game. But just to get into it, obviously we'll just talk about players that we're not going to see, and straight off the bat, the club have announced today. And I kind of like that they came out early and just said this. They just said, look, Sinks isn't up. He's in full training, but he's not playing on Saturday night, which means he's definitely playing against Collingwood on the Thursday night. And I think that was always going to be the plan. You rush him back a day or two too early against Geelong, and then you probably risk him long term. You give him this week, and then you bring him back against the reigning premiers, and I think that's a really good sign. And off the back of that, Liam Henry debuts for the club. Riley Bonner gets the nod, which is no surprise because his preseason has been next to flawless. And I think he'll take that Sinclair position off halfback with his beautiful left foot. And then the big one, the one that I'm really, really excited about, Darcy Wilson debuts. And it's no surprise. I mean, it would have been more of a surprise if he didn't, but he debuts. And I think there still might be a cheeky debut, potentially a Collard or a Garcia. We don't know. But I think the teams will come out tonight and we'll cover all that then. But at the moment, I think the main outs are probably just the Jack Sinclairs, the Dougal Howards, Dan Butlers. Mateus Philippou was a test, but I think he's fine. Josh Battle as well, which is really, really important. And I think probably Zane Cordy comes in and just shores up that back line with Stocker taking Jimmy Webster's position at back pocket. So we're fielding a pretty damn strong team, regardless of the fact we're going to be missing Jack Sinclair. I think Brad Crouch hopefully will get up. We're going to be fielding a pretty strong team. Geelong, on the other hand, they're missing a couple of pretty important faces as well in Guthrie and obviously Gary Rowan, two players that are pretty important. And if you think about it, they're two of their quicker players. And Geelong don't have a lot of quick players. Gary Rowan obviously is their quickest, or one of. And then you got Cam Guthrie, who's kind of their more outside midfielder that knows how to use the ball really well, but also runs back and forth. His two-way running is elite, and he's also quick off the mark in that first 5 to 10 meters. So they've lost a lot of speed there. And I think that was the main issue when they played us last year in round 23 when we got hold of them, was speed. But obviously that's at Marvel Stadium under the roof. There's going to be some elements. There's going to be a bit of a warm night, I think, in Geelong on Saturday night. And obviously there is a home ground advantage. And a lot of our players are going there knowing, well, they've probably played there once or twice before, maybe zero, and they've never won there. So I think, to me, this is just the absolute perfect Kickstarter for the season if we really do want to make a claim for top 6 again and maybe even push even and be ambitious and go for that top 4. Tom Hawkins and Cameron, obviously every time we play Geelong, those are the two that we need to stop. And without Dukes, I don't know if Dukes played on Hawkins last year in round 23, but I think Cordy definitely played, so probably Dukes didn't play. And it was Wilkie, Battle, Cordy, and we kept Jeremy Cameron, I think, goalless, and Hawkins was relatively quiet, returning from an injury at the time nonetheless. So for me, the midfield is obviously where this game is going to be won and lost. I think we actually get them there. For once, it's weird thinking about a team that won a flag 2 years ago and then playing them on their home deck less than 2 years later and thinking, I think our midfield's going to be better than theirs. I think Jack Steele's back to his form. I think we're going to see a good rotation of Owens, Philippo through there, maybe a Liam Henry, Seb Ross, Brad Crouch hopefully gets up. We've got players like that can go through. And obviously Rowan Marshall, I think, is one of the, the elite ruckman of the competition. Obviously Reece Stanley does a good job, but I think Rowe around the ground can take Stanley to the cleaners. And then it's all about ball use going inside 50. And that to me was a big improvement in the practice games. I thought, the combination of Sharman, Membry, King, just that consistency, having the three at all times worked really well. And Sharman is surprisingly a player that Geelong don't enjoy playing against. He is always good against them, either negating a player like a Tom Stewart or kicking valuable goals and being that surprise 1 or 2 goal kicker that, in the end can make a difference in a really tight game. So it's just set up really, really nicely. I think we're going into this in really good form. I think that in terms of injuries, it's not going to hamper us as much as it did a year ago. And selection is still going to be difficult. There's still a lot of depth there. There's still players that are going to put their hands up. And I think we've got that nice balance of fresh faces going into this with the Wilsons, the Liam Henrys, and maybe 1 or 2 others. And then obviously informed senior players that maybe we didn't have at the start of last year. And we started that season exceptionally well anyway. And Max King, obviously. What they do with him, I don't know. I think they've got Neil. I think it's Neil as well down the forward line. I think he might be their third tall. So they might look to stretch us there with Neil, Hawkins and Cameron. But outside of that, I think we just win the clearances. We just win the ground ball. And I think if we can get our outside game going, which is going to be a little bit difficult because the ground is GMHBA is just, there's no wings. And everyone knows that we love our wingers and we love spreading the ground. So it's going to be a unique experience for us. And I'm sure at training, we've probably had, I would be surprised if we didn't, but we would have had cones to, I would have at least made RSEA smaller to the dimensions of GMHBA and then play there, because you don't want to train on something like the size of the MCG all week and then go to GMHBA and you've got 5-10 meters less on either side of the ground. That just doesn't bode well for me. But it's Saturday night. It's a massive game, Saners. Get down if you can. Obviously, we're going to be outnumbered, but be very, very loud in the cheer squad there. Represent the red, white, and black. And this will absolutely be a monumental win if we can get over the line against the Cats in Geelong. It has been 25 years. 25 years. And if we are the team I think we can really become, we start to tick off these milestones. We did it in Sydney last year. We ticked off that milestone, a big, big drought. This is an even bigger one against a very good senior side that just know how to notch the wins. Even if they've not got their best team on the park, they're still going to be extremely competitive. But I'm really bullish about what we can do with Owens, Wilson, Henry, Philippo, King, the Nasai, Wanganimmalira, Riley Bonner off halfback, and Wilkie, and obviously in-form Jack Steele. I think this is going to be a ripper. So I'm excited for it, saying as I'll wrap it up there. That's my match preview. I'm really bullish about our chances in this game. Comment your thoughts. Let me know what you're feeling going into this game. I'm feeling just excitement. I'm not nervous. I'm just really excited. We are underdogs technically, but I think that's really just off the back of it being in Geelong. I think, on paper, I think we can get them. And if this was at Marvel, I think we'd be pretty comfortable favourites. So put in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking going into this game, what you're most excited about. and I'll respond to those comments when I can. And obviously like the video and subscribe. We have hit 10,000, but obviously we don't stop at 10,000. We want to get to 11, 15, 20 and beyond. So please subscribe if you haven't already and you like these videos. But until then, Sainers, take care, enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, go you mighty Sainers. Let's go.